Looks like it's going to be all blinds for you guys today. We do have a lot of things to talk about. This we can't. You don't want to skimp too much, even if we're not reading out all the cards.
That's true.
Next up on my list, the other Klingons. I mean, the Mirror Universe. It's a Vor'cha.
Well, it's a sweet ship, man.
Indeed. I take this one named version without the weapon or the tech, but I think there's a bit of choice there to be made. I think it's the. Is it going to be best stats? No, I think there's other ones with it. It's got pretty darn good stats for the blinds though. Problem, of course, being that its captain skill is a 3, and again, it only has a 90-degree forward arc. I guess technically the Klingon one only had a 90 forward arc too, even though it has a rear arc. It doesn't have anything that can use it.
It's got sensor echo though, right? And
oh,
so
yeah.
does this, for that matter. So.
Named version: place a scan token and an aux power token beside your ship. One slight thing that makes me not like how this was worded, because if it was a scan action, perform a scan action, then you could actually, use this against cloaked mines.
That's true. Yeah,
which would be great for a cloaker.
I agree. I kind of think the ship ability is terrible.
Yeah.
Right? It's just getting a scan token without the advantages of the scan action for an aux token.
And the Klingons don't have scan enhancers like the other races, unless they're getting some in the near future. I mean, it's kind of nice to have a 5 action bar, but really the Avatar of Tome did it better, and that's the only other one I can think of right now.
Yeah.
Because Avatar of Tome basically essentially has a free regenerate action.
No, and you're gonna want to cloak this, I think. So the extra shield for the named version isn't even necessarily that useful.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not using it if you're using it outside of unlimited too, you're also having the problem. Whereas you want the cloaking devices that let you stay cloaked for an auxiliary power token.
Right. Yeah. Yes, you want the advanced cloak and stuff like that. Now it's a great. I think in unlimited though, it's at a great point cost for the Mirror Universe, and the Regent's flagship can be a little frustrating because it's so unmaneuverable,
so unwieldy, so cumbersome.
So this will be nice. Richard Bliss's Worlds build might have been better served at having this instead of having to go with that Regent's flagship, because Mirror is at an important place in the initiative order, right?
All the way
it
at the
goes
end.
last, except for a couple of really maybe Vulcan or something like that, right? Just a couple of weak factions.
Yeah, something like that.
So if you put Khan on a Mirror Universe ship, you're moving even after species. Gen Con, I mean, of course.
Oh yeah, and that's definitely not a bad deal for a ship that can sensor echo inherently.
That's right.
Because that's points you don't necessarily have to spend on additional movement, but you're probably going to spend the points on additional movement anyway.
Well, why not? So it's a beautiful. It's getting those generic Vor'chas, and I think it's crew tech weapon, right? Which is.
It should be for the generic. I don't actually have a picture of that one.
I believe that's correct. I think I looked that up when it first came out.
Let's see. Cards that it has to work with. What did I say? I didn't take the weapon or the tech, but that leaves covert mission. You get to steal a weapon, but it has the same shield restrictions, so that's going to be pretty situational. Will be hilarious though when it goes up against the Bajorans, because then their phaser strike is gone, and then they really can do nothing.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to attack you. Oh wait, I don't have a weapon anymore. Well, I'll hit you with my 2 attack dice. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
You get free
Yeah, I
rules
guess
equal to the number of tech and weapon upgrades deployed to your ship. I mean, that's not a bad ability either.
no. Just having a Vor'cha is, I think. I mean, it's a good blind. Just on that.
Oh, yeah. And Hauntil gives you +2 attack dice.
Yeah.
And a second,
So
kind of a second attack against squadrons, but not nearly as good as the other squadron weapons.
no, but it will make them pay. It will make running fighters a dicey proposition. Yeah, what with the +2 attack dice, so it's attacking 7 and then 5. I mean, in 2 rounds, it's throwing the same amount of dice as a bioship all of a
Mhm.
sudden. So
With
it's
some good old cloak in action. Cloak it for the 1 turn and survive, and then bring the shields back up and maybe survive a second shot.
that's right. Yeah, I think you're happy to see this when you open the blind box.
I take it. I don't think it's up. I don't think it's quite as high as the Kazon though, but I'll put it. See, this one I like actually less than the Kazon, but more than Dominion. But I still like Dominion Kazon about equally, which is weird, right? Because that doesn't make sense in a circular fashion.
It's You contradict yourself very well. You contradict yourself. You are large. You contain multitudes.
It's a rock paper scissors kind of deal. I'll go with.
That's
Kazon is the rock, Dominion is the scissors, and Mirror is the paper. Or something like that. I don't know. One way or the other.
And the bioship is Spock and the lizard. Because
It
it's
kills
good.
itself? Oh, wait. It kind of does. What do we have next? Next up, we have the Romulans at long last. Another D-Daradex. Oh, whoop-de-doo.
Yay!
It's a lot of. This is the second largest ship of the blinds, though. Technically, starting at 30 points, only behind the bioship. So it's got a healthy size amount for its stats, but for 30 points, I was gonna say I build it without the crew and the tech, but I mean that means it's got essentially 12 damage worth. You need to deal 12 damage to like guarantee this thing is going to get killed in one shot. That's not happening. That's probably not for most ships. That's not really happening in 2 shots either. So
And for some, it's not happening in 3.
it's definitely got one of the highest survivabilities of the bunch. Maybe even higher than the species. Hard for me to judge that.
Well, do you put the cloaking device on your build?
I don't think so. Let me see what I got. The one that lets you not be targeted when you turn your cloak?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. I don't think I do, because it's a lot of points.
I mean, I think that really jacks up the survivability because there's not too many battle station options in the blinds. I mean, I guess that's just blind against blind.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have it high in David's brackets, that's for sure. Because if the bioship can't get quality dice on this thing, it's all the harder to kill.
That's a good point. I mean, you got to be careful with it though. Like, it's nice. The biggest problem I had with this ship is damage output. It's got 3 attack with its main weapon. It's got 3 attack with its secondary weapon, which is 360, but it's still only 3 dice.
Which is really nice against something like maybe the bioship or an Excelsior where you can stay out of arc and chip away.
Mm-hmm.
Other cloak ships like the Klingon and the Mirror, it's going to be hard to get any damage through.
Mm-hmm. That's what I had
especially if, as you said, they're playing defensively and taking evades.
If you take an evade action against 3 attack dice, it's not looking good for your opponent.
No, that's true.
I mean, because the best thing this ship does is what? It can get a battle stations token once with the Tal Shiar talent. You can possibly steal a crew if they weren't cloaked and had no shields. Oh no, this goes through cloak and shields.
I do like the crew a lot, actually.
Yeah, she's not bad, actually.
I thought it was really well designed. I think I would always take her. If she was just like a second of 5, she'd be
Hmm.
really powerful for a blind. But this is still powerful for a blind.
Hmm.
It's a 50% chance, but you're not doing such amazing things with your action on your blinds that it matters, right? And this can potentially be a 3-point silver bullet.
Take that, crew. Kill it.
Yeah.
Let's
Uh,
see. Captain, what do we got? Reroll all of your blank results during the modified attack dice step. If you do, you get an auxiliary power token. On the bright side, you don't have a lot of problems with auxiliary power in the blind because you're not bringing the advanced cloaking with it. On the
that's right.
downside, you're still getting auxiliary power tokens because it's always better to not have auxiliary power tokens.
Yeah, that's certainly true.
Other downside, I think this is also the reason why I put this a little bit lower than the Klingon. I think this is actually lower than the Klingon. I think that's how I put my bracket down. But skill 3 versus skill 6 in a maneuvering war.
Yeah, that's a losing proposition to say the least.
Mm-hmm. It's got an insane amount of hit points though, and defense. Reroll your cloaked. Reroll all your battle stations while you're cloaked.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not
but the
insane,
Daredexes have the same primary attack value as the Delta Flyer.
Oh no, it's a shuttle. Oh no, it's a Romulan bird of prey that housed thousands of soldiers.
That dwarfs the Enterprise. That was the scariest I've ever seen Picard.
Oh,
That thing first the cloaks.
poor derp Daredexes. And then there are the cloaks 2 more. Oh wait, no, is that not the same episode? That probably wasn't the same episode.
I have them all mixed up, which is perfect because every time those Klingons uncloak, I'm just as surprised as the Romulans.
But yeah, so the biggest minuses I had here were low damage, low captain skill. Oh, I also built it under 40 points again.
Yeah, it seems to be the case on quite a few of those because I think David built a lot, or at least 2 or 3 or 4 under the 40 points.
Because this one is really, I think this one was especially hard to get to 30 points. Because, I mean, you get Lovok and the talent. I mean, you have to take the AF disruptors. I mean, there's just no, you don't not take the disruptors.
No question.
So that's 32. And then the problem is everything else is like odd pointed numbers. Oh no, you need the captain, you need the weapon, and then everything else is 3, 5, and 5, and you have 6 points to work with.
I think, to tell you the truth, I went unnamed, Lovok, disruptor emitters, cloaking device, and Tolera.
Oh, you can do that.
To get 40.
So 28, 31, 33, 34, 35, 50. So not Tal Shiar.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
I don't know, I could see that.
This thing's chipping away damage, right? Battle station's 1 turn is probably not a make or break.
Reroll all your maybe I'm just that averse to cloaking defense dice that this is weighing on my mind. 7 dice with no evades. Stupid dice.
Well, you remember you had that really lucky defense dice roll in Worlds against me. But of course, I was even luckier and rolled all hits, so it didn't matter. But and you used up all your luck.
Did I run a cloaker at Worlds?
Yeah, in the last match, you had the.
Oh right, the stupid the science vessel. That's I'm like,
Yeah.
Vor'cha don't have. Oh right, my science vessel. I love my science vessel.
Vor'cha don't have cloak, you idiot.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? Although I did play a cloaking cube back in the days before there was, the 50-point limit. That was kind of hilarious.
Was Xenon or something to center echo right into that little...
Even without it, but still, being able to sensor echo with a giant cube, even just using the Sulu sensor echo, which was only the one when you do a green maneuver.
Right.
That was great. I loved that. But
Heady
what
times.
were we actually talking about? All right, my aversion to cloaking device, which makes me run this ship short, and you run this ship better.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, you gotta roll the dice, literally. Let's put her to bed.
Indeed. That leaves us with just the Vulcan ship. We came back for that.
I like it.
You
I
liked
like
this
it.
thing?
As a as a role model to children, I like it.
All right, so we've got the Saleya. I mean, it's got the same stats and maneuvering as the Excelsior class. Uh, my big problem again with this is 3 attack dice and
Yes, it's got a weapon
terrible,
that fires at 4 though,
which only fires out the rear arc.
which you want because you're gonna try and blow past them using this power distribution net.
Run away! All right, so I'm just gonna go with what you have down because the way I built this, it is 37 points. I was like, what? That can't be right. But I couldn't find anything else to work with it.
So the ship is 26. Well, if
Mm-hmm.
we're going with what I did, I better write this down. Okay, I did the talent and the tech for sure.
Captain for sure then.
Particle beam is 3, and the captain. Does that put us at 42? So I again took the generic.
Gotcha. So 24 plus 3 for the captain. Plus what? The crew you said?
Plus the talent attack is 10, and then plus the particle beam is 3.
3, 5, and particle beam. I lost it. There it is. 3,
That's 40.
16. 16 and a 24-point ship. Gotcha.
Yeah,
So the only thing you left off was the crewman that repairs 2 shields.
that's right.
Which is probably for the best because he doesn't fit in like any build I tried to do with this stupid thing.
He's kind of neat though, right? But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the power distribution net is cool.
Disable this card up to 3 of your active shields as an action to immediately perform a green or white maneuver with a speed equal to the number of shields. Oh, I guess it still has 3 shields as the generic. But man, disabling shields.
Well, you're going to use it when you can blow past something that doesn't have a rear arc,
Mm-hmm.
and then fire out of your rear arc, right?
Mm-hmm. Like you can't use
And
that
I mean,
with the talent at the same time because you have to discard active shields.
yeah, but I think you can discard upgrades as well, right?
Oh, that's true. So discard the tech itself after it's served its one purpose.
That's right. And then, I mean, we talked about this with Duras and firing the thing, but I almost feel like after you shot the weapon, you can discard it, right? So.
Yeah, that's a question. But I guess that would technically be true since it's a disable weapon instead of a discard weapon.
Yeah.
So that'd be your +2. So you have a 6-die, 1 6-die attack out of your rear arc, and that'd be it.
But the thing is, this is why I like it. It's certainly not the best blind, but if you can get that 6 dice attack off, and then you're gonna come about with your 180 as well as any of the other ones. Like that's probably enough to put you ahead of the Kazon. That probably enough to put you ahead of the Dominion in the race to kill the ships. It's certainly enough for the Federation. You know, you might get to kill the Bajoran ship without it getting a fire, which would be, you know, devastating. Should be enough to put you ahead in the race against the Ferengi. So you know, it's not it's not the first tier of blinds, but I think it's knocking on the door. It's the second tier.
That's super dicey without any kind of dice modification.
Yeah, oh, I agree. But
And
I mean,
and at skill 4.
if they're not firing back, though, who cares?
Oh yeah, but no, getting positioning down when you know that you're going to be able to blow by them, like you're not trying to do that at skill 4 is very difficult. I think.
Yeah, it's
I think.
certainly not easy.
Oh yeah, but apart
But I
from
mean,
that, because my build
the
was the named version because I can scan and I get a free extra point off of it. I've got a little bit more durability, and I just fire with the front main weapon for my 6 attack dice and a scan token, which is or not with a scan token. No, I use the scan token for the +1 defense dice, and then when I attack, I switch it out with Tavin for battle stations,
right, which is
and then
not
it
bad.
and then it dies. And I felt like that was better offensively for the ship to go with, but the problem is that leaves you way under at 37 points.
Yeah, and also it's difficult to maneuver at Captain Skill 4, and it's also difficult to survive till you get to fire at Captain Skill 4 too.
Mm-hmm. Which is, this ship is not terrible for it, since it has, 5 hull and 4
Not good.
shields, which is like this, okay, third highest after the Romulan.
Yeah, it's good. It's as big as an Excelsior.
But yeah, it's got a 270-degree arc. It's got low action synergy, though. That's the problem. It's like all the things want you to do a different kind of action. And I'm not too fond of just the upgrades in general. Like each upgrade individually does not make me excited in any way, shape, or form for the point costs.
No, yeah. They're 5 point. The tech and talent are each 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you'll see too much of them in Unlimited.
Nah.
I mean, other than Tavin is pretty awesome because he's a low cost captain that puts a battle station on any ship, right?
Oh yeah, for an auxiliary.
Yeah, for an Ox, but I mean, he's 3 points, right? You're right. You're probably going to spend 3 more points and get Ducat, or 4 more and get Picard. I don't disagree, but
Yeah. I'm trying to think of this ability just for a second. It says at any time, and I'm pretty sure, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure they ruled that at any time has to be between phases.
they certainly did rule that. So
So that means you
card,
can't use the scan token for defense and then switch it to battle stations when you attack. You'd have to do it at the start of the combat phase.
that's right. Though I think there's been at least one card, I think 2. David mentioned them actually that just won't work.
Well, that's a good
So I
point.
don't
Like
know
disobey
what's
orders,
going to happen.
I think is a problem.
Well, yeah, and isn't there an elite talent that you can spend at any time to? At any time, you may discard this elite talent to spend a token.
Get a different token.
But yeah, but well, no, it's just as though you've spent that token, but you can't do that during the combat phase, right? So as
Oh,
written, it doesn't work. So we'll have to see. Well, I mean, that they need that ruling, or otherwise the transword signal comes back.
everything
So.
goes crazy and great.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's not
I
something
don't
for
know.
us to. That's not something for us to debate today. The inner workings of the mind of Worf. Yeah. So I still, even with that, with all that, I still have Vulcan pretty darn low.
Yeah, I have it in my top quarter, I think. So that's one we disagree on, which is nice.
Maybe I just have too high expectations for Vulcan because I like them so much in the show. I'm like, this is a disappointment to me, sir. I defy your interpretations of Vulcans in this game.
I thought you were one of the good guys who never watched Enterprise.
That's true, but I like Vulcans everywhere else.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there are Vulcans and Vulcans, though.
I mean, they're Vulcans. Everyone loves a good Vulcan.
Yeah.
Until we
True.
start getting stuff from the J.J. Abrams movies, and then we'll have Spock's Vulcan ship that can implode planets.
Red matter. 1
8
point tech.
8 point upgrade. Action. Remove an obstacle from the battlefield.
Well, that's kind of wow.
Too soon?
That's well, I just think that would be neat.
I think that'd be
I
hilarious with
love
the
it.
two
I love.
planet battlefield from Worlds.
Yeah, I agree. I've just lived too long of a life with Peter hiding behind planets with that damned scout. So I'd pay those 8 points.
Be like,
I'd pay
well,
those
now
eight
that you put
points
it
and smile
that
the smile
way,
on my face. Yeah.
indeed.
So,
So that is
any
all the blinds. You
any
thinking something?
overall philosophical thoughts on them?
Um, I think you're super happy if you got the species. I think you're super sad if you got the
Yeah.
Bajorans.
Yeah.
But there does seem to be a bit of a middle where back in the days when you didn't have really crazy combos to rely on and you had to rely on really good flying to try to get by those 3-ship Klingon lists. Back in the days of Dominion War 1 through 3. Some of that might come back, especially because 40-point blinds are going to be definitely a little bit more impactful than the 30-point blinds.
Yeah.
Whereas 30-point blinds were kind of cannon fodder for all intents and purposes, I think.
And had we got the 50-point rule when the blinds were still around? I guess so.
No, we did not. Because the
Yeah.
blinds, yeah, the blinds went up through regionals, and regionals I was still playing my 1-ship super cube, super sphere.
Yeah. So, because that really limits the impacts of the blinds as well, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you get, well, we saw it in what was it, North Carolina regionals. You played that Vulcan ship defensively and kept it out of the way, right?
Stay back, back that thing up to the edge of the board. You get in the back and you stay there.
I got this. I got this.
I got your back, bro. It's cool.
So yeah,
It's cool.
I think you're right. Maneuvering is going to be really important again. I think that the 40-point blinds are going to be a lot more powerful because 10 points is a big difference, and
Mm-hmm.
all the other ships are limited to 50 points now.
And the evade action might come back into use, especially
Yeah,
when you have so many points. Because you have 40 points on a relatively fragile ship, actually. No matter what you got.
Now, strategy-wise, I do think they add a little more variance to OPs, which I don't necessarily hate. I do hope that if there's regionals, that they don't that's 120 point constructed list.
And to not random points.
I'm happy in my monthly OPs to draw a Bajoran ship, but I'd be pretty disappointed
Mm-hmm.
at a regional level event.
I really miss the idea that the one guy came up with that you get 2 interceptors in a pack for 1 blind.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
WizKids, that one's free. Especially because it wasn't my idea. But hey.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been that would have been neat. Hard to package, I guess.
Do two of those, and all you need is a weapon for each of them. 2 phaser strikes. 2 cheap phaser strikes. Not the 5-point things, maybe 4-point things.
Yeah, there's your 40. Right on the nose.
I like it. But, yeah. I don't know.
So,
they're blinds, they're back, they do stuff to the game, and they get people involved again. I'm just going to be sad because I was kind of enjoying going back to $5 OPs again.
Right.
I've gotten...
Yeah, I guess that's mixed. Because you're right. People do enjoy getting a ship, no matter what.
But you were saying that you're hoping that these blinds will reinvigorate your scene, so people will come back so they can get the blind ships.
Yeah, but again, that you're right. It does make it more money, so it'll just depend on everyone's local scene, I guess. Though the nice thing is, these do feel a lot more optional than the last blinds.
These are the ones that I'm at the point where I might be just like, I'm just going to pick up one of the bio ships on eBay and I'll be happy. Maybe a Lakota.
Well, I need 2 of those bio ships at least.
But yeah, like you were saying that
outside.
it might work to bring people back into yours. In my scene is long gone in Central Florida. But one of the problems was that we actually had a fair number of like father son duos, and when one
And
guy
then
is paying $30 for the tournaments, then
yeah, starts getting pricey.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a huge difference because I was and will hopefully be playing, 3 OPs a month. So $15 a month versus $45 a month is, that's a difference. And then you've got potentially 3 ships to buy, right? So
I remember back in the day when I didn't bulk at that price.
when you did what? Sorry.
When I did not bulk at that price.
Yeah. I'll be paying that price, but 15 a month. It's a difference.
45
Not
a
everyone's
month.
gonna want to.
Yeah. But no, that's I think that's going to do it for all of our theories. Our evaluations, our criticisms of all the different blind buys. Uh, I think there is definitely a gap in power between certain blind buys, like not even like a relative thing. Like it's kind of absolute mathematically that this is absolutely better than another one.
Well, when you look at 1 and 10, yeah, it's a reasonable facsimile of strictly better. Anyway,
So remember,
so
if you guys have a problem in your OP, just remember you can blame it on the blinds. I give
yeah,
you permission. I give you permission to lose and blame something else. That way you come back for more later.
that's people love that. People love having that chance.
Indeed. Let's see. On the news front, just to wrap up, the last wave, we already went through it, but, well, we didn't go through it, but we already boiled it down. Get Quark's treasure. Bioship maybe if you really like it, but probably you'd want to wait for the the blind buy Bioship instead. What was the other last card that we had there?
The Phoenix was the other ship.
Oh, I didn't care about the Phoenix.
There are reasons to own a Sutherland ship if you don't have or yeah. What's
That
the class? Nebula.
Nebula.
There's
Yeah.
reasons to own a Nebula class ship.
If you don't have the one that we were talking about, if you don't have the prize one, then it'd probably be a decent pickup. But I already have a prize one. I don't feel really inclined to get another one.
Get Quark's treasure though.
Quark's treasure is the boss.
Unanimous State of the Federation seal of approval.
Past and present, because even David and Tucker agree with us.
Push. If there's one left, push a small child over to make sure you get it. State of the Federation. Seal of approval.
Well, that's I'm not going to go with that one, but don't quote me on that one. But next wave is coming up, and Delta Flyer is looking silly considering it's a shuttle and shoots as hard as a Daredevil.
Yeah.
Rotaran should be fun because we love Martok, and I'm actually really looking forward to the Romulan science vessel. Because, well, I play Romulan science vessels, and it's a time-traveling Romulan science vessel.
Really?
Well, technically not. Technically, it didn't travel through time. Technically, only the captain did, but...
Huh.
You never actually see it on screen in the Voyager episode, I don't think.
Oh, it's from Voyager.
It's from Voyager. They find a micro wormhole that apparently also goes back in time as well as space, so it's like 100 years ago.
Isn't that always the way?
Yeah. Always problems.
And so they're talking to this guy, I guess. Yeah, well, it should be interesting.
I'm hoping
they're not. WizKids is not unaware of what ships are good and bad, right? I mean, upgraded phasers and Type 8 phasers and the one for the Daredevil exists for a reason. So I don't think they're going to just give us another science vessel. There'll be something weird about it, right?
But it'd be nice if they didn't give us another Daredevil. Come on, guys. How many Daredevils do we have?
It'd be super nice. Give us a Valdor class with tech slots.
Give us a Daenerys that has like 6 cards that let us adjust the actual stats on it.
Yeah.
Not just 1 copy, so we have to get 5 of that Daenerys to help the other 4 Daenerys we have. Okay. Anything else cool coming up? I mean, we're basically we're going into the new OPs. There's still no word yet on regionals, nationals, things like that. They've been doing the Dice Masters and stuff, but nothing on the Attack Wings. So
Yeah, they're just going to be standalone events, is what they said, right?
we're still going to be watching out for that. And yeah, there's actually not been that much recent news. Aside from these blinds, which we just plowed through today.
Yeah, true. I guess we've had it hot and heavy in that regard.
Who wouldn't need 16 more ships in the span of 2 months?
Yeah.
Cool. That's all I've got. Anything for you? I almost called you David. Joseph?
No.
I remember your name. We only even though we only talk once a month now, I still remember your name, I swear.
Probably we'll do something about the 90-point builds, but like next time, I mean. But other than that, I don't really have anything much to talk about.
Cool.
The blinds have been the main news.
Indeed. So, that will do it for tonight's State of the Federation. Next time we'll be looking at probably some how the 90-point builds are going to shape up, probably some of the OP events, and hopefully we'll have some news on regionals. That would be spectacular, because at this point already all the regionals last year were done. Right?
Yeah, it would make my yes, they certainly were. It would make my month to know about those regionals.
I want to get my hands back in the game, move some ships or little tiny ships around against the best in the world.
That's right.
Fun. Yeah, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you all for joining us. We will be back sometime next month. Until then, enjoy, play some more Star Trek, get your hands on some of those blind boosters, and may Q be generous with your dice. Have a good night, everybody.
State of the Federation is a production of Will Sanchez, Tucker Kobe, and Joseph Bandu. We are not associated nor affiliated with WizKids NECA Games, and all opinions are our own except where otherwise expressly stated. All copyrights are copyright the respective rights.